I don't even know how to start this video off.
Since my last update, that was my first fundamentals test. I think it was fundamentals. But we've had 2 med-surg tests since then, because I know at the end of that week, I had my first med-surg test, which my fundamentals test, I believe I got a 71 on. And then my med-surg, I got a 76, which we're low, because where I go, 75 is passing. An F. So 75 is a C. So with my med-surg, my first test, my first exam, I had passed it, but anything under, I think it's 79, 80, you have to go in for remediation. And which basically what remediation is you go in like 72 hours after you get your test back, like your grade back. You have to go ahead and go meet with the teacher and basically talk about how you studied and all that sort of stuff, and what to do for the next test, kind of finding out what your study habits are and stuff like that. So that kind of sucked, but since they were in the same week, she wasn't doing remediation till the next week, so I only met with her once for both tests. And basically she went over, I was overthinking some of them, like thinking too far into them that I shouldn't have been doing and stuff like that. And because I got the harder questions that she had on the test, I got them right. So that was, kind of okay. And that kind of like cooled me down, because I was like, oh my God, I failed. I studied so hard and stuff like that. Your mind just starts going and going and going, because you do need a 75 total test average to sit for the final. And if you don't sit for the final, you fail the class, and then you fail the program because you can't retake a class, because these kind of go in like steps. So that happened. So I was kind of really bummed that weekend, which was week 3, because we're on week 5 now. Yeah. So that was the first 2 weeks of school, was basically off the get-go. Then this past week, we had on Thursday, we had our med-surg 2 test, which basically was just over pain management. And let me tell you, the chapter was like this thick. In the med-surg book, it was this thick. In our fundamentals book, it was this thick. In our clinical book. So it goes over tons and tons of stuff. So I was freaking out because it's a lot. But then it came down to like the study guides that she had posted. How I did it, I don't know if I'm going to change it, because I did get an 83, but however, this past test, the night before was Patrick and I's 3-year anniversary. So I basically stayed at school. We got out at like 1, because we don't have, on Wednesday, we don't have lab. Like, we were supposed to have checkoffs, but we already did our checkoffs. So she was just like, well, I don't have anything new to like teach you, so go do whatever. So I stayed till like 5:30 at the school, studying with other people, basically just going through the study guide and anything that she went over, and some of the drugs that she had that she wanted us to know on the test. Basically just going over with them and doing some mock questions on our ATI and Kaplan, which are an online resource. I'll have to show them in another video because I don't have my laptop. But they basically are just learning tools, to look at questions and stuff like that. So did that, and I'm looking at my my calendar over here, because we do get like a little weekly calendar that she prints out. So basically this week my clinical teacher is away, so we just have skills all week. So we didn't have to show up to school. Right now it's like 12:20ish. We didn't have to show up to school till 1. So today, and then tomorrow we have our first simulation scenario, which basically is we have this high-tech dummy that can talk, breathe, has pulse points. You can get blood return on IVs. Basically, you can kind of do anything you do to a human to this dummy. And he talks, blinks, he breathes, like his chest goes up and down. You can you can listen to his lung sounds and stuff like that. And it changes, his blood pressure can change. He's hooked up to machines, like real machines that we'll be using. So he's a pretty expensive dummy. And so today we're going over nasal gastric tubes. And then tomorrow we have a sim lab, and basically we just have to show up for our sim lab appointment. And mine's at 10, which I'm kind of glad it's at 10, but then we have to go through this whole like case study. So we got, today we had a case study, a GI case study, and then tomorrow we have our guy case study, and basically he has some sort of COPD, because that was the case study that I got. So each group kind of got something different. So, but basically that's kind of all we're doing this week, which is kind of like, you know, we don't have to show up for Wednesday or Thursday till 1, because our skills teacher is also the first year and the second year RN clinical teacher. So she goes to clinicals because, you know, there has to be a certain amount of ratio to a teacher. So she does that. But the next week, so like we basically have like, you know, a week of just skills, and then starting Monday next week we have our second fundamentals exam, which basically is just over head to toe assessment, which we checked off last week on, which I passed. So my camera just died, so fun. So basically, as I was saying, I have to like move around to like stay out of the sun, or this will overheat again and die. So basically it's just over head to toe assessment, which we've been going over for the past, this starts week 5. So basically since nursing school started, we've been going over head to toe assessment. So I'm not really too worried about it. I mean, I'm still going to go over some of the material and do the study guide, but I'm not really worried about that one. However, we go right off the get-go, and we have med-surg that Thursday. However, the med-surg one is over medical administration, which is basically giving out medicines, you know, pill form, IV form, IM form, anything that I could give you that is a drug, basically. And that sun is like killer. So that's kind of scary, because the day before we only have like one lecture day of it, and that's kind of scary to me because we start clinicals that Wednesday. So we go to a nursing home and we start there first. I don't know why we start in a nursing home first, but I'm guessing it's okay. But we do get 2 days at a hospital in the med-surg unit, coming, I think, November. My days together, because literally yesterday I thought it was Thursday and it was a Sunday. So you kind of get really lost after a while. So but basically I still have a normal sleep schedule. I made sure that I still have a normal sleep schedule, but stuff like that, stuff that, you know, a lot of people stress out about. So I just basically wanted to do kind of an update with this video, and basically saying, hey, I passed my med-surg test. You know, I finally, you know, conquered that, and I'm super happy about it, and that we're starting some crazy skills that I haven't done yet. So I'm nervous, and I don't know if this is glitching or not, if I have to redo it, but I'm going to go because I do need to start heading up into the skills room. But go ahead and like this video if you're happy that I passed. And I will go ahead and make some more videos this week since I have some time. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching.